Hi, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about week 4. Looking at the overview, we're going to be discussing what happens with the role of textbook and content area classes, understanding what text features mean, and why it's more difficult for students to recognize and navigate nonfiction text than it is fiction text. Here are our learning outcomes. We're going to determine the role of textbooks and content area classes, develop methods for using textbooks, determine text features, determine the aids in a text that assist with readability, and understand 2 formulas used to calculate the readability of various passages. And your assigned reading is chapters 3 and 6 of the Zimmelman text, and there's a dyslexia handbook in the resources section on week 4 of this class. So let's go ahead and let's look just briefly through the resources you have for week 4. This is a really very short booklet here that explains about dyslexia, what it is, what some of the signs and symptoms are, how that it can cause problems socially and emotionally, what classroom strategies that you can use, multisensory structured language teaching, how people get screened, evaluated, and diagnosed, and other additional resources for further reading. And here is our week 4 PowerPoint presentation. We've already talked about the objectives. One of the things I want to point out to you that's very, very important is the text features, the format of them in nonfiction text. I think that alone with academic vocabulary only are, I shouldn't say only, but those are the 2 most detrimental things to people being able to decode that text, to understand what that text means. And by decoding in this part, I'm really meaning comprehension. So, I don't know about you, but I don't remember ever being told when I was in school, which might have been a few years younger or, further back than you, but I don't ever remember anyone as a teacher explaining to me how I could use the table of contents, the index, the introduction, the glossary, the photographs, the cutaways, the graphs, the captions, and so on, that we see as text features in nonfiction text. And it's just really important. So, some of these books you have, some of these you don't. I still have this 50 literacy strategies step-by-step book in here, and that's something you can always purchase or view at a library, but that's in there too from when I taught this class face-to-face, so that knowing that's another good resource. You have the strategies at workbook, the textbook subject matter book, and the strategy charts. And Education YouTube is also a very good thing to use with it. So, this is the section about readability formulas, where you have to go on and read about formats of readability. Here are 2 of the readability formulas, and you'll be asked to do this in your PowerPoint response. So, my computer's a little jumpy this morning. And these are some of the pitfalls of, excuse me, these are some of the pitfalls with readability formulas. And here is a YouTube on dyslexia video that I would like you to watch. And what I'm hoping to do with this is to give you a good background or solid, I guess, schema to connect to as you begin to work on, if you have not already done so, your dyslexia assignment that is due in week 5. So we're going to get out of that. So, forum for 4.1, you will again be talking about a new or interesting idea that you feel will improve your teaching based upon your reading of chapter 6. And everything is still the same as far as when the forum responses. These will stay the same all during the 8-week class. This class is more like 11 weeks though, because we have 3 weeks of break built in there. But none of you are upset about that. Okay, here's your PowerPoint response activity. And the directions, of course, are always embedded in there. I'm not going to go through all of that with you, just to point out it has everything you need there. And we're going to go ahead and stop there and do this just for week 4. Next week, in week 5, will be a very big week. So I want to make sure that I give enough time to you in the video for that. I hope you all have a wonderful week.